Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Handmade by Ying with Donna. Today is July the 18th and it's 7:30ish p.m. tonight, and we had a little delay at my end, and I'd like to welcome everyone to the chat, but first and foremost I'd like to welcome Beth of Goody Goods. Welcome, darling.
Hi, thank you for having me tonight.
You're welcome, sweetheart. When we have time, I'm just going to be, hey, come on, let's do this.
I'm always up for it.
Always. I'm going to hop over in the chat real quick and then we'll get going. Courtney, thank you, sweetheart, for hopping in tonight. I greatly appreciate it. I love your comment. Please be kind, respectful, and always give a thumbs up and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications each and every time that we do go live. Hello, Nancy. Let me see. I'm just skimming the chat real quick. Joe put in that we were delayed a second. Patty G, hello, honey. Welcome. Katie D, hello. Donna, we've played email tag a few times, and I have 2 more blocks for you. I'll mail them tomorrow. Thank you, sweetheart, and I greatly appreciate it. Hello, Sean. Good day, mates. I like that. Carrie Richards, good evening, everyone. Dora Lindale, hello. And Christine. So now we're caught up. So tonight, I'm just gonna pluck your brain just a tiny little tad.
All
We've
right.
already we've already did our interview, so tonight's gonna be a kind of just tell me where you're at. But Tracy, welcome, sweetheart. So tell me what's going on with you. I hear there's a lot of things.
Yeah, there's a lot of change. There's a lot of excitement and a little bit of fear and nervousness of, the
Honey, you're too
unknown.
loud over there.
Um, we are we announced over on our channel, but we are expecting our 4th kiddo. So that is something really exciting. We had our first appointment the other week and got to see the baby on the screen. So that was really fun. And then we were like, what better time to look into getting a long arm than when you're expecting your 4th child? And so it's something that kind of me and my mother-in-law and even my sister-in-law, we were kind of inspired to look into it. I mean, we weren't really sure we would get one, but when we did that quilt walk out in Liberty by Angela's store, we got to see her working on the machine doing free motion
Oh,
quilt.
really?
Yeah, and my mother-in-law actually got to quilt with her, and she was just standing there like she was quilting with just a regular old person, and I'm standing there like, "Oh my gosh, Liz, you are sewing with Angela Walters." And she's like, "What?" Because she doesn't watch YouTube. So she
Right.
she didn't really know.
True.
Yeah, she didn't know the big deal, and she didn't know the big deal about Tula either. I'm like, "That's Tula Pink. It's so awesome." And she's like, "Okay, I guess I'll have her sign my tote bag." But so that kind of started the ball of like, maybe we'll have a long arm sometime. I always thought maybe in like 40 years, 50 years, something
Oh,
down
sweetheart.
the line. But um, we are very blessed because they did help a lot. And so we are going to be getting an Amara delivered here in about a week or so. And I'm going to go to training, and then I'm going to teach her how to do it too so that she can come over whenever and quilt her quilts together. So
How
yeah,
cool.
big news. Like I still can't even believe it.
I just think that's awesome, Angela Walters. I'd have been fangirling. I couldn't have interviewed her. I'm being honest, because I remember her back when she was doing her midnight, popping her chocolate candy, and let's do this. That was. I didn't even place it until you went live, and I was like, oh,
Honestly, I was such a wreck. Okay, so let's give a little behind the scenes here. Usually, I give all of my interviewees. I'm like, okay, the day before, I'll say, hey, are we still good to go for tomorrow at so and so time? And that kind of just makes it a reminder like, okay, yeah, we're going to do that. I did not send an email the day before because my phone, I'd gotten a new phone and my emails didn't back up. So I was like, wait, I can't find any of my emails from her assistant who helped me schedule this and put it all together. So I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh. And I found a screenshot because, of course, I was so excited when I finally got an email back and was like, yeah, we can do an email at this time. Here's the address. So I screenshotted that a while ago and sent it to Austin. So I was going through my phone, freaking out, like, oh my gosh, what if I can't find the address because I can't find the email? Luckily, I found a screenshot, got the email, but it was too late. I didn't give like a beforehand email out, and then we show up, and it was almost like they forgot that it was going to happen, because my mother and I, we were sitting outside. They told us where to go. We were sitting there and we're like, well, maybe they'll let us in like a couple of minutes. And then I sent an email. Finally, I found an email and I messaged her on Instagram. I said, hey, we're sitting outside. Are we still on for the interview? I'm sorry, I should have messaged you yesterday. And this car pulls up and she just gets out. Not Angela. Angela was already there, but her sister-in-law, her assistant, comes out and she's like, can I help you? And I'm like, oh my gosh. Cause she was like, can I help you? Like she had no idea who I was or why I was there. And I was
Oh
like,
no,
did I
that
just like imagine this whole thing and like this isn't even really happening? Like, did I just imagine this? And I was like, yeah, we've got an interview scheduled for today at around 11. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I forgot. And so really we were rushing to get set up. I didn't really have that time beforehand to kind of break the ice with her. Like usually I jump into the studio about 15-20 minutes early, make sure everything's looking okay, and we chat a little bit and we get to
right.
get those nerves out. That did not happen this time, and my fangirl meter was like all the way up here. And yeah, it was just, I was a hot mess for like at least 10 minutes into that interview, and then I started to kind of like relax a little bit. If you guys want to play a drinking game, if that's what you guys are into, start that interview and drink every time you hear me say wow in the first 5 minutes. Because I was like, wow, wow, wow.
I would have been worse. I'm telling you. She's just like top of the line for me. You know what I'm saying? But I was still back in watching her old stuff. I had no. Now I'm into her new, and I'm just like, wow. I'm like you. Wow. You know?
Yeah.
And Joe's like, that's who you want to teach you. You know what I'm saying? Even though, like, our long arm came with this 2 year packet of free training,
Oh,
and it's
wow.
all online. You know what I'm saying? Which is great. But I just
Yeah.
haven't even cracked that seal yet because life's busy with the kids and the business and stuff. But I need to get that registered and open it up and get it going. But does yours come with something like that, or you don't know yet?
It might come with it. I know that my local quilt shop, that's where we purchased it from. So Patty, the owner, she told me that once it gets delivered, that I will just like message her and we'll schedule a training session. And so I'll either go to her store or she can come here and we'll train for like 3 hours, which I'm like, let's do it. Let's do it. And then I'll come back, practice a little bit about what she taught me, go over it. And then when I'm ready to take another step and figure out how to like position the pantographs going around the quilt, like say, you're going around a border, how do you orientate that motif to where it's
Yep.
going around your quilt? So then I'll go back and do another training session with her. And then she said that when she got her long arm, she was just calling the dealer like every single day. And I'm like, I have your phone number. I'm going to be harassing you. You're going to have to ghost my calls because I'm going to be down here having so many questions. You're going to regret selling this thing to us.
One thing that we learned, and I'm not sure if it'll help you or not, but you know your machine, you know the name of it. There's so many videos out there.
Oh, yeah.
Just back to back watch them. That way, as you got a question, write it down. So when you're meeting with them, you've got that list of questions, just a tidbit. And then a couple other long armors told me, like, I was so excited, buddy. When they brought ours, I was loading a quilt top. We were going to do it. You know what I'm saying? And the girl's looking at me. Are you sure you want to play on that? And I was like, yeah, I've already mid-armed, there can't be a lot to it. And she
Yeah.
says, well, there is. So we put scrap fabric on, and there's a different, like, the way they explained it to me, you've got your mid-arm,
Yeah.
per se, you know what I'm saying? We're moving the paper under the pencil. Now you're going to have the pencil on the paper. You see what I'm saying? So it's a different mindset. So once I got done playing, I was like, as soon as they were out the door, come on, Joe, help me load this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I really wanted to do it, and it's on my scrappy quilt that's going to be here. You know what I'm saying? In the catnapper. So I was like, played with the pantograph on it. So
Yeah.
the kids drew pictures, so I had something to play with. So that's embedded into it as well.
That was so
And they
cute.
look like stick people, but they,
Yeah.
but the kids love that.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of fun. So Journey, congratulations. I would love to see your new long arm. What kind did you get? Um, Tracy, I'm not sure if you're talking to me or if you're talking to Beth. I think you said Amara. Is
Huh?
that
We
correct?
did the Amara on the 12-foot frame with Pro Stitcher. So,
You're rocking it. You're going all out.
well, the intention was so we set up Goody Goods as an LLC. Like I've had Goody Goods and maybe I've been going about it the wrong way or like under the books. So don't report me or anything, but I've been doing custom quilting for a few years and
Right.
just never felt the need to get an LLC because it wasn't like I was turning, a huge profit or anything. But I mean, I was doing pretty well for myself. And then when we were discussing the long arm, I was like, it might be a good idea just to get the LLC now, especially with like pattern writing. I've been kind of getting into that with FPP as well, because it's always been something that I want to do. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to sell my patterns online, I have to have an LLC to
Right.
get an Etsy. And so it kind of snowballed into finally getting that set up. And then I was like, well, the Pro Stitcher is really expensive. It's so expensive. But when you think about if we're turning this into a business, and I put a poll out on my Instagram. I was like, when you send your quilts out to a long armor, are you wanting custom quilting or are you wanting edge to edge? And I just know the turnaround of an edge to edge
Right.
design automated, like that can be doing its thing. I can be over here working on a custom quilt or piecing my next thing. And so in my eyes, I was like, if we're going to turn this into a business, like maybe we just need to like take that step. It's going to be ridiculously expensive to pay that machine off each month.
Right.
I think we could do it. And so I've just been kind of scared, obviously. I'm like, I need to drum up business. I need to make sure that I can get some people bringing their quilts to me. But also, it's like, I can do this. It's like a mixture of fear. Like, you can't do this with,
Don't let fear overtake you. Don't ever let it.
yeah,
You're young. This can be a business that you can take many years. You know what I'm saying? And the sky's the limit. You've got many, many talents, not just your paper piecing. You know?
yeah.
So even when you
Well,
get down on yourself, that's just your mind working. Don't let it happen, babe. And Beth, let me see. I want to say it was Becca, but don't quote me. She's the one that told us about the LLC. You need that. You need your trademark. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing your pattern writing, make sure that you've got everything stamped with your name on, so it's trademarked.
yeah.
So she would be a good resource to tap into and just say, okay, this is what I'm doing now. Am I in the right direction? Because she's been there, she's done it.
Yeah, she's been awesome. So we were messaging back and forth. I was like, Becca, we're thinking about getting a long arm. And she's like, what? And she's got the Amara, but she doesn't have the Pro Stitcher. And we were going back and forth for like a week. Like, well, do we get the Pro Stitcher? Do we not get the Pro Stitcher? Do we get a smaller model and get the like Pro Stitcher Lite? Because that is a lot cheaper. So we were just like going over all the options and trying to like weigh what was going to be worth it in the end. And so Becca was like, you could do this, you could do this. You don't have to get the Pro Stitcher right now. You could practice on your machine and work your way up to that. And so she was really helpful in opening my mind to it doesn't have to be one way right now, because
Right.
kind of when you're doing something so big like that and you're thinking of your future, sometimes you get
Very.
like tunnel vision and you're like, it's got to be this or it's nothing. And that really opened my eyes. She opened my eyes to saying, you don't have to get the Pro Stitcher right now. You can just do custom and you can really get going on that. And then, pay off that part of the machine. And then later on, add on to the Pro
Yeah,
Stitcher.
that's what we're doing because we're just doing baby steps. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So I'm figuring we're estimating, as
Yeah.
Joe puts it, guesstimating within a year. You know what I'm saying? So I love doing the edge to edge. I'm
Yeah.
just really comfortable with that.
Yeah.
So unless someone wants it, let me see. I want to buzz over here. If anyone has any questions, go ahead and pop them in for that way while we're chatting up a bit. We'll have your questions. Did she tell you to get the red snappers?
She did not talk to me about that, but I have heard about those from my friend. So in all of my videos, pretty much, I rave about my friend Kelly at Steel City Quilt Co. She's got her own quilt store website, and then she added long arming earlier this year, and she's been so helpful. Like I was scared to tell her because we live about 20-30 minutes away from each other. And we're really good friends, and I think we have like a good understanding of who each other, like who we are as people. But still, my anxiety was like, she's gonna be mad that you're getting a long arm. You're stepping on her turf, and so I was scared to tell her. And I was like, Kelly. Finally, I was like, Kelly, I have to tell you something. She's like, what? And I'm like, I think we're getting a long arm. And she was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And she literally spent that whole day sending me all of the information, like where do you get your wholesale, for thread, for batting, what do you need to know for this and that and this. And I was just blown away, honestly. Like I know she's a really, really good person already, but that really
Absolutely.
solidified it, that she was willing to share all that information with me, all of that stuff that she spent so much time trying to figure out. Like she put the legwork in to learn this stuff, and she was just
Right.
willingly like, this is what you need to do, this is how you do it, this is where you need to go, this is what you need to set up. And wow, like I'm just so thankful that there are people like that who are willing to give information, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, because I mean they've earned it. They've learned it, they've logged it, they've learned it, you know. But when you have someone that's willing to share even the littlest bit, it saves you a year of research. Where am I going to go? Where am I going to find this? Where am I going to get the good deals, you know?
And it also kind of gives you a sense of relief because you kind of have that fear jumping into something so big, and then you have someone saying it's okay, here's what you need to do, and you're like, oh, I think I can do what you're telling me, like I think I can do this. So it gives you a sense of relief, like okay, maybe I'm not crazy for doing this, you know what I mean?
You're not on any level. Never ever get that negative space in your head, because we've learned in life you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, you know?
Nope.
And you're bringing a lot to the table, and you've got a lot of good plugins that, you know, that you
Yeah.
can tap into. If one person doesn't answer the phone when you need them, Marco Polo someone, you know? That way you can say, here, this is where I'm at.
Yeah. Well,
I'm stuck.
that's been the cool part about being on YouTube, because I wasn't originally thinking I was ever going to be on YouTube. I was really active on Instagram, and I kind of made a lot of friends on there, like other stay-at-home moms who were quilting, who had little kids, and that was really nice. But once I stepped into YouTube, it was like, bam, there's even more people who love what you love, who are just good, decent people. So it's been really nice to have friends, but also have friends who aren't like safeguarding all of the secrets. You know what I mean? Like they're willingly like, come sit with us. We'll tell you everything you need to know. Like that's nice.
It's really neat because the way we're looking at it, it's kind of like a sewing guild, you know? We don't have, well, I can't say we don't. We have one locally to me. Other than that, I'd be driving an hour and a half, 2 hours to just go meet. Where it's
Wow.
so cool that we can pull up a seat, pull up the computer, and sit here and chat. Most of us will never ever meet in person in our lifetime. So
Yeah.
it's a good way to just have that network, and it's kind of like a dictionary. Hey, Beth, teach me paper piecing. Or the guy who sews, can you show me how to make that pattern that you just did? We all help each other.
Yeah.
And Courtney, she's been a wealth of information as well. I've reached out to I don't know how many of you. Hey, can you show me this? Or will you teach me this? Or I'm lurking in your chats going, wow, like the other day, I couldn't wait to get home from my sister's just so I could do that bulb because my first one was the broken bulb.
Can we just talk about your FPP? Like, how has that been for you? Like, you are rocking it, girl. Like, were you scared to get into
That's
it?
just,
How are you feeling about it?
it was never ever anything I ever wanted to try. Honestly, I'm good with following a pattern, and you took me and Sylvia took me way out of my comfort zone ever because your dog, Clifford. I'll never forget it. The poor guy, at first I felt like he was very, very special when I first laid him out. I was like, this dog's going to need surgery. He needs the emergency. And I'm laying it out, and I just couldn't wrap my head around. Here's the picture of what it's supposed to look like. Yours was dead on. Like my emu, the poor guy, I'm telling you, he's had brain surgery and it's laying on the floor. He does not look pretty at all. So I've got the other one cut out and I'm going to work on getting it ready so when she hops in with the guy who sews, she's popped that picture of how she has them laid out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to do it that way. But I'm telling you, the brains of my emu's laying at his feet. Not a real pretty picture. But the rest of the body, I mean, it came together. I'm loving the way paper piecing gives you that precision.
Yeah. That's the
And
best.
it's not something I would have ever tried, but like I said, when you said about the dog, I was like, okay, I'll try this. This is a big dog. It's not going to be that hard, right? And I told Joe, I said, I'm going to try paper piecing. He goes, okay, well, let me know how that goes. He'll support me in anything. And I'm sitting here and I'm cutting it up. He goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to sew this to paper. And he, oh, okay. So I get back to what he's doing and I hold it up after I'm done and I show him. He goes, that's a dog. And I said, it's Clifford.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, yours was my very first paper piecing. And
That's sweet.
that's why I was like, Beth, am I on the right track? And I must have sent you a billion pictures.
I was so proud of you. Because you called me and you're like, I don't know, this dog's looking special right now. I'm not sure if it's gonna end out like how I'm wanting it to. And I'm like, it's gonna be fine. Just keep going. Just keep going. You got this.
Yep.
And then when you sent that completed picture, I was like, ah, I'm telling you, there was that light bulb moment for you. I know there was, where you're like, okay, this isn't as intimidating as maybe I thought it was, or whatever was holding you back not to want to try it.
I can't wrap my brain around putting the paper the way you start that first piece.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds silly because I know it has to face out. My brain's telling me that. But I'm so used to marrying my seams. You put them face together and you zip them through. So it's just my mindset. Once I get there in that space and I'm working it, it's like, I can do this. But
Well,
it's
Kathleen, the other night, she had the best thing. I've never thought of it because I'm not a football person. Do you
where
like
she
football?
was.
Do you like football?
I don't understand it. My kids have either been cheering for it, playing it. Joe's what is it? Washington Redskins.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, she goes, it's just like football, first down. And I'm like, oh, that's a great analogy to tell people first down. The first piece of every single template that you do, the first piece is right sides down, first down. I was like, that's great. So I kept saying it throughout the video. It was amazing. I never would have, because I always say, I like to like pound it in where I'm like, okay, this is the first piece. We're putting it right sides down, right sides down. And I'm like, I need that repeated things said while I'm learning, because then I catch myself if I'm learning something new. If someone's repeating it, or even if I see a process where there's a lot of like repeated steps, I'll say it out loud. It just helps me because then I can like check what I'm doing as well. I'll say like fold, trim, sew, fold,
I
trim.
caught myself doing that when I was doing that, and I was the first one, and I was okay until I saw my bulb was shattered. I was like, do I pull it apart? And Joe says, no, honey, it's fine. You just dropped it.
Yeah, that happens every year, doesn't it? At least one goes down.
Absolutely. So I'm looking at it every block, every time I'm ever doing something, I always do a practice. So that was my practice. So my emu that's special needs in a good way. Joe said he was hit by a truck up on the main highway.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to put him together again.
Well, what you could do, is it sewn together yet? Or are they all pieces still? Like they're not, the pieces are sewn separately, but not put together as a whole.
No, it's all together, and I have no idea. Yeah, it's all together. I think I sent you the picture. The poor guy, I sent it to Sylvia this morning, and I said, I think he had brain surgery. Yeah. So when I showed it on my whips and UFOs, I was so tired. And I put my hand over the head and showed it. And I said, the rest of his head's down here.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, this still happens to me. Let me find. So I had 2 live FPP tutorials, and I was working on these dang Christmas lights. And I'm like, I know my stuff. I'm going to just teach it. It's going to be great. And then I go to join my Christmas light and look at that. I was like,
That's what happened with mine.
yeah, isn't that insane? I was like, oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. I'm trying to teach something and it turned out that way. And then this one was better. Um, but I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my gosh, the people are coming here to learn and I can't even get my dang points to line up. But it
But
happens.
can I
Like,
tell you something that makes me feel better? Not that you messed up.
yeah, but
You
it
know what I'm
happens.
saying? But you're the pro at it, and it just solidifies that hey, you're human too.
Exactly. I make mistakes all the time. Like the other night, I've never done this either. I feel like I've never done this particular thing with messing up FPP because I'm usually like really good about not trimming off my seam allowance after I piece my whole block together. I I just took off a whole 1/4 inch off one side and I was like, whoa there. I went to like join my pieces. I'm like, it's short. That's not lining up. That's weird. And I flipped it over and I was like, oh my good Lord, I cut off the seam allowance on the left side. So I had to get crafty with fixing it. But I do stuff all the time that I'm like, what the heck were you thinking? All the time.
So it's not just me. Like
No.
I have the Atta
Out of quarter.
yeah, I have it, and I was so mucked up the other day when I was doing this. I took a chunk out of it. I
Oh,
was
of the
like,
ruler.
yeah,
I did that too. I did that too. And I sliced, that's when I cut my hand with the rotary cutter because for some reason I wasn't paying attention and I was cutting not on the beveled side. I think that's what was happening because I was on a video call with my friend in Canada and she was making a lot of like jokes and we were just laughing, having a great time, working on the same block together because we were testing something together for somebody. And so she's joking and I'm laughing and I'm just doing my thing and I didn't have my ruler the right way. So usually, I mean, you're supposed to cut on the thick edge because it's raised. I was not paying attention and had my flat edge.
that's what I
And
did.
that's what happened when I sliced my finger and there was like a whole chunk taken out. So
I I can't. I
gotta
do
be
not
careful.
even remember. Look at this. I don't know if you can see it.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I
You're
took
lucky
a
you
chunk
didn't
out.
get your fingers,
Yeah, I
Donna.
was down like this, and I don't know what I did, but I took a giant chunk out of it. So I was gonna just trash it, and Yvette says, no, just lay it down and just kind of like put a piece of tape here so you know not to use it.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like using cards. So I always have like a bunch of business cards nearby. I don't use the straight edge of that ruler to do the folding. And my friend Heather, she loved, we're very different. Everybody uses something different, but I love that a card fits in my hand really well. That's a really great one. What is that?
Honestly, I went to Dollar Tree and I use this for like when I'm doing patterns or
Yeah,
templates. So I just cut one this size
that's nice.
and it folds down perfect and I keep it in my bowl, my cozy.
I love that.
See, I'm finding things I didn't know I need. So now I have to make another bowl cozy so that I can add everything I need for FPP.
Yeah.
Because I can see me doing this not like you all do, but I'm not going to be intimidated now moving forward. But Jay, the top of that cart right behind you has the email.
Well, and
No, honey, behind you, the white cart, sweetheart, behind your chair. He's looking for my email. You're gonna laugh hysterically. The poor guy. I literally held him up like this with my fingers over his head because I was mortified. No, that's the dog. There's another pattern there like that. One more. I wouldn't have. I don't know. He says it's not there.
this is my FPP pattern book, and this is why I love FPP because can you make that with traditional piecing?
No.
Absolutely not. Can you make this with traditional piecing? No. Like I love the fact that I can make literally whatever pretty much. Like I like to just go on Etsy and scroll
Oh,
and just get
absolutely.
patterns all day. Like I could do that all day long just to see what's out there, what I can make. And I love that I don't have to think. There's no math. I don't have to like hurt my brain trying to make something pretty because sometimes traditional piecing it's just too much. I look
It
at the
is.
numbers and I just get like I just can't get my mind off seeing 20,000 numbers on a piece of paper. And I'm like, it's
Right.
overwhelming sometimes.
Now that's going to drive him crazy until I find it. Give me just a second.
I know you had it this afternoon.
I had it this afternoon,
He
honey.
ran away. He was like, I'm going to go now.
He's in my drawer of projects.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, found him.
Yay.
He's in with my patterns. All right. I'll show everybody in the chat. Y'all can't laugh. I'm serious. Okay, this was my...
Hey, that looks...
Everybody can see this. This is the shattered bulb.
I had a shattered one too.
It looks like we both did the same thing.
Yeah.
So then this is the good one.
Yay.
So I was really, really pleased with that. So I'll put that here. And you're doing that on the 26th, am I right? I don't know why I wrote you're doing it on the 26th.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what's going to happen on the 20. What? Is there something happening on the 26th?
I don't know. That's the date I wrote on this post-it note, so I don't know.
Let's see.
All right. Here's what the emu is supposed to look like. Okay? And I did everything. I marked my colors like you told me, you know.
Yeah.
And Sylvia, she's like, make sure you put your W where you want your white or whatever your background is.
Yeah.
The poor guy, I'm not kidding. And y'all can't be telling anybody I messed up this bad. I don't want the rumor mill flapping their jaws. Okay, there you go.
That doesn't look crazy to me.
Oh my Lord. His head, look.
I think he looks fine. He's
special.
Maybe he has a little baby emu right like hiding behind his legs too.
He gave birth and they didn't pick it up. I looked at that and I think what got me, and I'm gonna say this because I'm not a pattern writer, but see how this guy's facing this way?
Yeah.
I just couldn't wrap my brain around he should be this way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
between his legs.
I know, honey. He's saying I've got this part should be here.
Yeah.
So what I did was mix those up, but it's okay. I might rip it out. I might not. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I'm kind of scared to make the emu now. I'm not kidding. I'm not one that'll get upset over a whole lot because I figure life's going to throw you curves. And I'm learning. I'm a work in progress. Every day I'm going to make a mistake. If I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. It's never an intent. But when I took on this emu, I was so excited. I Googled what an emu is supposed to look like, what colors to use, you know what I'm saying? Because I wanted it to be really pretty. And I figured I was going to add with your dogs. I was just going to do a quilt in time with all animals. I just thought, well, boy, that'd be really cute to hang in here so when customers come in, I can say, I'm not great yet, but I'm learning, you know? So,
He's trying to scare to make me move.
I'm not kidding. This is the only time in the last couple years I've cried. I've lost friends. I've lost family. This one made me cry. I could not figure it out. I ripped his head back off. I tore the neck apart. And I kept looking at this and I couldn't wrap my head around it. So I'm doing this with the mirror in the bathroom, looking down at this, trying to figure out what I did wrong. So I know I got these blocks backwards. So I'm okay with that. But I literally had to split it here. I kid you not. I had to split it here and draw a little circle and put the head.
Yeah.
That's the closest I could get.
It'll start to make sense. With FPP, you're working from the back of your block, which is so weird because we're used to building from the top of our blocks. And so I feel like you are doing such a great job. You just give it maybe one or two more projects and you're going to be like, oh yeah, like this makes sense why this would be mirrored. It's like your brain is having to relearn something that it's been trained to learn a certain way.
Yeah,
so
that's what Stephanie told me too. She's like, you've got to learn something new, and I'm used to seeing everything black and white. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like the mirrored image. To me, it just
daunting at the beginning, but it gets better. Like the more you do it, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, of course. Like in a few weeks even, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, like I don't know how that used to trip me up. You're gonna get to that point where everything just clicks, and you're not gonna have as many moments like while you're piecing, like, wait, am I doing this right, or how do I do this? You'll just get in that like muscle memory of, yes, this is how it goes.
Yeah, this project, I mean, it's adorable. I love it. And but I never left one get in my head like this, into a negative headspace. When I tell you don't let stuff happen, I did with this. I was just like, I think it was just the knockdown. I couldn't understand it. And here I am, 57 years old. Why am I not grasping this? Let me check this chat. This is funny. I'm kind of scared to make the emu now. Sean, you'll have Sylvia right there. I'm going to be on the back end. I messaged her this morning and told her, I said, I'm really going to be leaning on you because I really messed it up. And I sent her the picture with my hands over the head. And I said, I can't call it headless. I don't know what to call it, but it's a mess. And I'll be looking to you to help me fix it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if she understood. I wasn't saying, answer my questions. Just tell me what I did wrong so I can rip his head off again. But, dear, he got in a fight with Jack is what I told my granddaughter. And I said, Jack won. So I don't know what else to say about him. He's cute. I love him. She did a fabulous pattern, but I'm not at that level. You see what I'm...
You're literally right there. I feel like Clifford was more to like think about. Like I think you're so close, and just having that little part of doubt sometimes can throw you off.
I think it's the circle to the back of the head.
Yeah.
Because when you were talking to me about the 8 on the quilt blocks that you're doing for the numbers, I was like, I don't understand, but okay, Beth, great. Now you see why I sent them to you.
Yeah. So here's a 3. This is a good example of this. The radiating lines is what you're talking about. How these radiating lines right here is what gives the illusion of a curve. That's why FPP is so cool. There is really no curves in FPP, but your brain filters out all those straight lines. It's like, that's a 3. There's some curves there. So sometimes that can get tedious. So when I started, that's why I did the 4 first, and I did the 7 first, because I was like, I need that instant gratification before I go into these harder ones, because these do take, like, this takes about 30 to 40 minutes of just, and I did it the other night. I was like, okay, I'm not going to go live tonight, and I'm going to see how long this takes me without gabbing, because when I go live and I try to do these, I get gabbing in the chat because I have a great time on my lives. And then I'm like, at the end of the night, I'm like, dang it, I only made 1 block. Like, that's not efficient at all. And so I was like, okay, my goal is to do 2 blocks. So I did the 3, and like, here's another one too. Like, these are not curves. They're all straight lines, but your brain picks it apart. And so all of those and then all of those.
I am so glad I sent that to you. Hint, just saying. So let me slip back into the chat real quick. Where was it? Sojourney, I'm going to start right there. Let me see. Keep up your enthusiasm, Beth. You are a rising star. Amen to that. Amy C. Sojourney, Tracy, I agree with you 100%. Sherlock says, hello, everyone. Amy C. When I signed up at my local guild last month, the lady there told me not to lose my uniqueness as I learned from others. That is a blessing right there. Beth, the way you explained FPP helped it click for me. Isn't it? You're touching lives. It's crazy, isn't it? Hello, Kim. Welcome to the chat. Mary, hello. Welcome to the chat, sweetie. The guy who says that Amy C. I was the same way. Telling each other hello. Nancy Guess. I tell myself I'm praying when I start. Hold my head down so the first piece is put... That's a good idea, too. I'll have to try that. I know, Sean, she's a great teacher. Absolutely. Your emu was looking... This is cute. You got to listen. Your emu... This is from Sean. Your emu was looking right, left, right before that street instead of left, right, left. I still have issues with that 20 years after moving here. That makes me feel better. That honestly does. Not that I wish that on anybody, but it's cute.
They drive on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, you do drive on the wrong side. Where I like an analogy. Beth, how many test pieces have you done, and which was your favorite? The hardest? And nope, not going to do that one again. I'm going to highlight this so I don't lose where I'm at.
I actually have some over on my rack over here, so I can show you. Let's grab over here. Our place is an absolute disaster, but I have this whole rack over here of stuff, and I know FPP on here. So I would say this one, I've done okay. So to answer the first question, I have probably done for FPP, I've done a lot more testing. So I love testing FPP. I would say I've tested probably about 15 to 20 patterns. And I really, really enjoy it. I'm really like, every time I see someone looking for a tester, I'll like, hands up, pick me. And then now I'm to the point where people will message me and say, hey, I'm going to come out with a pattern. Can you test it for me? Which is like so humbling. I'm like, me? You want me to do your pattern? I'd love to. And so I really do enjoy it. With traditional patterns, I've only tested for Heather, and I did the moon medallion and I did the strawberry quilt that I shared. And I have one that I will be working on very shortly. Probably next week, I'll start cutting into it for a Halloween quilt, which is so cute. It's got little ghosts with like eyes and little hair bows. So
now is that going to be FPP?
That's all traditional. So I joke and say that Heather is who keeps me on my stuff for traditional piecing, because I'm over here in FPP land. And the first
you back.
She sent me, oh my gosh, I was like, wait, I have to cut this where? And like, where's the line that I have to sew on? And like, do I have to like square up my blocks actually? Because I did traditional piecing for a couple of years, but once I got on the FPP bus, I was out. I was like, this is amazing. I could do this for the rest of my life and never look back. And Heather's like, hey, pattern junkie. That's what she called me. Test my quilt for me. I'm like, absolutely. And I was just shocked at how little time it took for me to kind of backslide. I wasn't practicing, right? So I was like, but I love FPP. It's my jam.
Oh my word.
So this one was probably the one that I would never do again. Look at his face. It might not look like a lot. Let's turn it around.
Oh, holy
look at all the little pieces in his head. Like, I got to the point where I was ripping this out, the paper out, and I'm like, screw it. It's just gonna wash. Like, I don't even care, because there's so many little pieces. So this one was really difficult.
That is gorgeous.
And I don't know why. I love birds. So as soon as I saw a duck, I was like, count me in. I didn't even look at the detailing or anything. I was like, it's a duck. Let's get started. So that one is probably the one that I would never do again, even though I'm glad that he turned out. And then I've done a lot of testing for Snuggle Puzzle, and I would say that she makes my
But who is this one?
This is Snuggle Puzzle. So let me actually go get the
That's the one where you were doing the boy, isn't it?
Yes.
Will you hand me Clifford over there, honey? Behind you.
This Clifford? Yeah.
I'm going to show my Clifford. Someone showed, and I'm not sure if it was on Discord or if it was someone in your group, but this is so cute what they did. I haven't done it yet. I just need to... You never gave me instructions. What do I do with all this paper? No, it's still there. But anyway, this is my pooch.
Yay! He looks so cute.
And someone did it to where they were putting lines. I don't know what it's called.
Oh, the matchstick quilting?
That's it.
Yeah, so what you're going to do when you're all done, like you're done, rip your paper out, okay? Rip all of the paper out that you can. If you have a little bit that isn't coming off, don't worry about it. It'll dissolve in the wash, but get like the most of it off. And then you just make a regular quilt sandwich. You get batting and your backing, and then you decide however you want to quilt it. You don't have to do the matchstick quilting.
I thought that was just adorable.
Yeah, she did a really good job. And I love that she used red thread. That was really fun.
That made it pop.
Oh, yeah. She's fantastic.
But I couldn't tell whether she went over the dog or was that just the outline.
I think she did the whole just right across.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell. I was trying to blow it up on my cell, but it got distorted.
I don't know if you know who Pride and Joy Quilting is. Her name's
No.
Barisha. Oh my gosh. She is absolutely brilliant in the FPP world. She is actually who I learned from through YouTube. She used to have like a 7-part series on her YouTube, and then she blew up. She took a photo of her and her 2 sons. It was just like a little photo of her together. She blew it up and she put together like a full-size quilt, all FPP. She did the whole pattern of her and her boys, all
Get out.
and it has won so many awards. It's absolutely insane. Let me pull it up. She is just, oh my gosh. I've been trying to get her over on my channel for an interview because I just look up to her so much. And we just have not been able to pick a date. She is so busy doing guild meetings and like look at these patterns that she puts together. Like that's her pattern.
Wow.
Absolutely incredible. And this is the one that I was talking about. That's
How
all
cool
fabric.
is that?
All fabric. So if you guys haven't, if you're enjoying FPP, she's one of the greats. Like
Yeah, I'll check that out in like 20 years if I'm still here.
she's amazing. But I did want to show the snuggle puzzle. I did some FMQ on the back of this one. I just haven't.
I
bound it.
really like that.
She is such a good pattern writer. I feel like all of her patterns have just like a nice feeling. Like
Yeah, I
even the
think
name
that's
for
the
her
one I saw you doing.
snuggle puzzle. Like what? That is just a sweet name. And so I've done these for her. She's absolutely the sweetest. And then that's the one.
I remember the night you did that one.
That's so cute. And so whenever, and she's actually really cool too, how I was talking about Kelly being so welcoming with me in the long arm. Erin from Snuggle Puzzle, when she saw that I was putting those patterns together, she messaged me and she was like, oh my God, I love it. You're doing a great job. And she gave me all of these pointers and like told me what software she uses and like what's helped her. And so honestly, like
the community is amazing.
Quilters, like I don't think so. I really
Absolute. So let me hop back to where I was. Patty G, I hope she answered everything. Let me see. Patty G, good job. Thank you, darling. My chat just jumped. I hate when that happens. Tell myself praying. Amy, good reason. I like the analogy. Nancy, question for Beth. How many test pieces have you done? We already did that. Patty G, good job. Nancy. My FPPs all come out backwards. I'm so new to this. I'm just learning baby steps. 100% baby steps. What scares me is that when I'm making it, I'm having a dozen folks watching each and every mistake. I'm learning that too. And I was my worst critic for a long time. And my granddaughter says, Ying, just picture, because you don't know your numbers. I don't pay attention to all that. Joe does, and I guess other people do. But he's all about the numbers. And I told her, I said, if we get 10 people that watch us, it's going to be a blessing. So I had my first 10, then it went to 25, and she was so cute. And I said, I'm getting really nervous. I don't know about this camera stuff. I think we need to quit. And that's what I kept telling him. And he goes, no. And she goes, Ying, just you and the TV. Just look at it like that. You don't have to worry about all that out there. But you do realize this is going out there to a zillion people.
Yeah. And they can
A zillion people. Yeah. So she was trying to calm me down and hype me up. But in the mind of a child, she's like, I can do it. I'll show you. And that's how Bebe ended up starting to come on to calm my nerves. Looks good to me. My FPP. What scares me. Sean, you do great. Keep it as it is and put a picture frame it. Remember, I very well may. Absolutely. It could happen. You just never know. Patty G, he is special. The hardest part is actually starting FPP trial and error. Absolutely. I'm learning that. I agree with Courtney. It's a learning. So, absolutely. Janet Johnson, good morning, darling. Her description kind of sounds like a butcher, but been there, done that. I'm telling you, Jack was not kind. The emu has a couple difficult seams. I love the emu, and I'm really going to try it when y'all do it on Saturday. I'll have everything already done laying there so that as Sylvia's talking Sean through it, I'll have a better understanding of what I'm doing. Hopefully I won't dehead it. You could call him nearly headless Nick, like the ghost at Hogwarts. I could actually send that to Courtney and she could inscribe that in that baby. All straight lines up. Yep. Maddie, hello Donna and Beth and everyone. Maddie, Donna, my blocks in the mail. Thank you, sweetheart. I greatly appreciate it. That's amazing. Some of those testings are full. Absolutely. What is the difference in FPP to traditional?
Well, there's paper on there and you're working from the backside of your block. There's a lot of differences, but that's really the main thing. You're using the paper as your pattern. So you're not looking at a pattern and saying, oh, I need like 10 5-inch squares and like yada, yada, yada. You're looking at your paper and your paper has the pattern printed on there. And you are sewing on those lines. So you don't have to worry about math. Most of the time, you don't have to pre-cut. Some of them, the more geometric patterns that have like squares and rectangles, which, you know, isn't too often, at least with what I've been working on. Sometimes you can pre-cut there at the beginning, but you're still sewing it onto the paper and using that as your pattern. And then when you're all done, you rip the paper out and then you've got your block.
Makes sense to me. So Terry, I did a lion's head and it had many tiny pieces in the face, but somehow it looks like a lion's head. It was my very first. Awesome job. Patty G, your Clifford looks awesome. I'm thankful that she trusted me to try it with. I figure if I can do it, anybody can as a new FPPer. So it shows your pattern writing's amazing.
Thank you.
I went over the dog, but skipped the eyes, nose, and collar. She does amazing FPP. She just won a ribbon at the Big Quilt show a few months ago. Awesome. Glad you received my block. Absolutely. And everybody that's sending blocks, we did get some in today. If you go over to the community tab, I'm learning all this. As they're coming in, whatever day of the week they show up here, I'm just going to type your first name, last initial, and the initials of your state. That way I'm not putting your business out there, but it's a quick resource for you. That way I'm doing it as soon as they come in. I'm doing it straight from my cell and getting that information out. So if everybody's mailed blocks and they're wondering whether they showed up or not, you can check the community tab. I feel so bad because one block's MIA and I told the poor girl that it was here and it wasn't. But I was doing that quick response. So she's understanding and thank goodness. So as they're coming in, it's called life lessons. We learn as we go. And this is a new project and we've had a lot of hands in it, a lot of blessings, and it's going really, really good.
Yeah, I was watching you put it together the other day and wow, like it's really cool to see these blocks come together and they're all different fabrics. They're made from all different people. And it works. Like it is so pretty.
I couldn't wrap my head around how we were going to make this happen.
Yeah.
And because I bought the quilt blocks, I want to say 2 years ago when I started, off of Becca. Mm-hmm. And I'd poured them out. Now I'm not that level, can't do this. And then I'd play with some of them, so they were tested.
Yeah.
And there's a few I didn't do, and I feel sorry because I was like, what I would gauge is beginner or intermediate is different than what the actual skill level may or may not have been. So if they told me it was too hard, I'd be like, okay, and I'd look at my phone and just shoot them a block, you know, because at the end of the day, it's a matter of you're putting your special touch on that block that's going to touch a family down the road for the rest of their life or the life of the quilt. So it's just fun to see how this is coming together. Really cool. And I'm just thankful and blessed that so many people wanted to be a part of it, that everybody jumped on. We've got, wait till I tell you, this is so cute. I want to say this right. I got her name over here. I want to make sure. We had a lady that had donated. I'm talking probably the better part of 30 blocks. And they were her orphan blocks.
Oh, cool.
And she's like, use these however you can. And she was in one of the sewing groups that I'm in. And I was like, are you sure you want to donate them? She goes, yeah, just use them up however you want. So when we were in the live last night and we were sewing them up, we were joking because in the box that she had sent, she sent a pattern to make a bag.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, that's so cool. So, who was it? Lisa Marie. She goes, oh, that'd be cute to make bags for the quilts. I was like, oh, so you'll do that. And it was a joke. And she retracted that real quick. But it was funny. She just misspelled something and come right back with the same thing. But Brenda Foley, she reached out to me privately and she says, if you send me the blocks, that way they're going to match the quilt.
Yeah.
We're going to tie it together. Cool. So I sent her the blocks this morning. They went out with the quilt. And there was a big mail haul that went out today. But she's going to take the blocks and make 3 bags. Then she's going to ship them straight to Kathy.
That's awesome.
And Bianca, if I'm saying her name right, she's the one that did it. And
wow.
She's a big blessing. So and how many times do we all make orphan blocks?
Yeah.
So she just kept hers and she blessed this group with them. And I just think that was really neat, you know? So a little bit of it's going to all tie in. So let me see. I went over the dog. Message retracted. I don't think anybody else is talking or my chat's froze. I don't know which. It's not doing nothing. But anyway, what is your biggest news this week? You got to give me something good. The long arm approval, the house maneuvers. Sure. The rumor has that you took a class today.
I did take a class. I've been itching. I'm like, is she gonna? I'm like really excited. So I took my first class ever at my local quilt shop, Casey Maker Studio. You guys, if you've been on my channel, you hear me talk about that store like crazy. But I have been waiting for them to get certified to teach this class for so long. She said that she was going to do it. And she's like, the class will be sometime in June or July. And I was just like, hey, when's that? Did you get certified yet? When is that class going to be? When's it going to be? Because I was so excited. I've been wanting to try this method for a very long time. Now, my fronds are not attached to the pineapples yet, so it might shift. But this is what we worked on today. That's what I'm talking about.
Courtney, can you see that, sweetheart?
These are not attached right now. So these look like a bunch of crazy right now. I wasn't able to iron them. So this is the top of the pineapples. And then what I'll do is position them the way that they need to be on top of this. And then I'll iron it down. So these are
all of that is the collage as well.
Yeah. So all of those little flowers that you see, all of those little parts, I put the seam on and individually cut out all of those flowers and then started just stacking them on. And honestly, I struggle with shadows. I struggle with color a lot. And so this was kind of hard for me to figure out placement for a lot of these to where it actually looks okay. But like this pink section, like that's part of the pattern. So there's yellow, pink, blue, and this is supposed to be like the shadow, I guess. But yeah,
it looks gorgeous.
It was so much fun.
That's kind of like what Teresa Louise is doing with her dog.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's really cool. It was from 9:30 to 5:30 today, so it was all day long. I swear, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go on autopilot on my way home from the quilt shop today because I was like, my mind was just done because I was staring at this for hours trying to get placement all right and everything looking good. And by the time I was like, I'm sick of doing these dang leaves. I'm just going to start combining these things and skipping them. And I'm going to cheat on this pattern because there's so many little parts to it. And it took a very long time, but I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Courtney says, I bought the pattern over this past weekend to make a YouTube live. That'll be fun.
Oh, yeah.
I miss seeing you girls sewing together.
Yeah, we have not done that in a long time.
One of the pooches.
There's-
She's talking to Beth.
Yeah, her dog.
Courtney's telling your pooch hi.
Buddy, he always
I'll
checks
be
out.
watching. I love collage art. I didn't know anything about it, of course, being new to all this, until I saw Teresa Louise's live, and I was just, she was just touched base with it. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like,
It's fascinating. I follow someone on Instagram, and I feel like I say that all the time, but Instagram is like my favorite place to go to be inspired, to see new quilts, to see new ideas, new techniques. And there's someone called the Collage Quilter on Instagram, and she is just so good. Like her patterns are really cool. Last year, she did like 12 days of Christmas, I believe, and it was a pattern club where she released a pattern each week, and they were all Christmas related, like an ornament and
oh, that would be so
like a
cool.
snowman. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. So not only do you have to go look up Pride and Joy Quilter, Verushka, like FPP Queen, but you've got to go look up the Collage Quilter. This class was the Laura Heine method, so she is a different person from the Collage Quilter, but they're both just amazing. So talented.
Courtney's saying, I'm hoping that you're going to join me. She wants you to do this together. I'll read chat for you girls.
Yeah, that'd be
That
so
way
fun.
you girls can just do your thing.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yes, I need to watch that, Courtney. That would be fun. Teresa Louise hasn't been live for a bit. I know. I got a message from her the other day. She just wasn't feeling her best. And fibromyalgia and everything else, it can kick you. So just keep her in your thoughts and your prayers. I reach out, and I could tell she read the message, but she didn't respond. But I know when I'm not feeling good, I'm like, oh, they're thinking of me at least, you know. But when when you're down, you're down. And she's one of the best. You couldn't ask for. I miss her being on.
I know.
Yep,
She's got such a calming energy. Like
yeah,
I jokingly say that she's like the Bob Ross of quilting. Like when
absolutely.
I go on her page, I just feel that like calm, welcoming, loving feeling. Like every time I jump onto her live chat, I'm instantly taken down. Because you know me, I'm always like, la, 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 la,
You're
la.
like I am on caffeine. It's like, whoop. Everybody says I need to learn to slow down, and I'm like, my mouth goes a million miles an hour.
It's
But
hard
that
to slow down when you're so excited about what you're doing. That's really what it is.
every day it's something new, and I'm just like, guess what I did? Guess what I did? Let's do this. Hop in and do this with me. I'm like a kid on Christmas morning. The littlest things excite me. Like your Christmas light when you sent that pattern when I said, let's do Christmas in July. And you
Yeah.
popped that right out, and I was like, I love that. Let's do this. That's why I wrote the date. And I was like, this will be fun. But it's just the little things, you know. Pride and Joy. Wait a minute. I'm trying to read it, but it's moving. Pride and Joy, what is her YouTube channel?
Her YouTube channel, she does have one. I think if you just look up Pride and Joy Quilting, it should pull up. She did remove her tutorials that I learned from for FPP. It was kind of before she kind of blew up, and I think she took those tutorials and made them like a paid option, because I think you have different levels of subscriptions on YouTube now.
Oh,
where
I
you
have no
like
clue.
normally subscribe, and then there's kind of like a Patreon thing where you pay to have access to certain content. So I think she moved that to paid content, which stinks because when I was learning FPP or trying to, I was scouring YouTube trying to find all of the videos that I could, so that maybe I could find someone teaching it in a way that I would understand. Because you can watch 10 people teaching the same thing, but until you find someone who kind of explains it the right way or a way that you get it, you're just watching someone do something you don't know.
Right.
So when I found her videos, I was like, ding, ding, ding. I love these. She teaches it very, very well. She was really well detailed. She had everything sectioned out into 7 videos. Like it was 7 parts. And so it was very thorough, very hands-on, and that's what I needed. I was not getting that from other videos, and that's just me because I learn a different way than maybe you do or someone else. So I was really blessed to find those before she took them off her page.
Oh, I'd have been trying to download them into my computer or something. I would have. Jean Trulove, that's who it was. She has Patreon.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think Mom and Pop, do they?
I'm not sure.
I think theirs is just where you can donate, maybe. That's it for the 12 hours. I love them too.
I don't know how they do it. 12 hours. Oh my goodness.
I could get lost in here easy. I could never be on for 12 hours. I don't know how they do it. They've got energy.
Oh my gosh.
I got lost when they were doing the puzzle, when her son came on and they gifted him that puzzle of the owls.
Yeah.
That was gorgeous. I was mesmerized. I couldn't stop watching. I was still sewing, but I kept looking up to see how much further they went.
Yeah.
I think Joe's dropping links.
Yay.
Every time you're saying something, I'm seeing the yellow. So it's Joe doing it. She's on your YouTube, but she's on her Instagram as well.
Yes.
So I don't want to tie you up. I know, baby, you've had quite a long day, and I've kept you on longer than I should have. But it was just fun. Hey, Tracy. How you doing, babe? I just love her energy, too. She's just like, we're all just like, I love her. Beth is our new Cincy for us. Absolutely.
New what?
Cincy. S-E-N.
Cool.
Yep.
I hope that's good.
It's a good thing. Like teacher.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I hope to do more FPP tutorials if you guys are interested.
Yeah.
Or even just like sew togethers. Like
I would love just sewing chats.
we should do a fall one where we do pumpkins. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be Halloween because I know not everyone loves Halloween, but who doesn't love fall? We could do an FPP pumpkin or like a leaf, like a maple leaf or something fun. I think that'd be really fun.
Tracy's going, it's because all of our brains never stop. And it's true. It's like, I'm just like, I'm like a little kid learning all these different things. And a friend sent me a picture. I saw it on her grandson was being held by a parent in their home. So the woman's my friend. So when she posted a picture, I was like, oh, that's our state colors. And I said, will you send me a picture of that picture? And she goes, Donna, what do you want? I said, it's nothing against your grandson, but I want the picture. So she called her son and made him take a picture of that picture and send to me. So I could basically break it down so I could figure out how to make it. So it was cute. And today I did my first one. I'm loving it.
That is so cool.
So I've just got to do my count and figure out how I'm going to make this baby and how big I want it. But I'm just baby steps. It's all going to be half square triangles, but I just need to decide on how many blocks it's going to be and then figure out how big I want it to be. And then I'll know where to go from there. And I'll be saying, okay, you guys do your math. You're the math wizards. Let me see. It's a teacher in Kung Fu, like karate.
Oh, cool. Sensei.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's kind of like that wax on, wax off.
The chopsticks, getting the flies.
Yeah. The Aussie flag, LOL. Can't wait to watch the replay. We got to get you on with us sometime, girlfriend. That would be fun. Could you see all of us sitting there going, God help the people watching that one.
It'd be fun.
Oh, absolutely. Well, guys, I promised her we wouldn't stay long, but I wanted to hear about her day and catch up about the long arms. She's really excited. So, Joe's over here going, congratulations. We are so proud of you. We're kind of new into the long arm circuit. Yeah. So, as you learn,
Big step.
it is. It's a big step. I know what it is for us and the nervous jitters, you know?
Yeah, well, I do want to say that because I feel like this is just so important. Like we would not have been able to do it by ourselves. We are just like so thankful for our my mother-in-law and my father-in-law's support and them believing in this business enough to feel comfortable supporting this and helping us out. We would have not ever been able to do this without their help. So I just wanted to say thank you to them if they're happening
Oh,
to watch this right now, because it is a humbling experience for sure. Like looking at those numbers and just having someone say, "I believe in you. We're going to help you out. This is going to work out." So it. Thank you, thank you.
you're gonna make me cry. That is awesome. And when you have that support system and that belief, the sky's the limit, girlfriend.
I started crying in the fabric store the other day after we like did the deal and everything. We were walking out trying to get to the car, and I was, talking with Patty, the owner of KC Makers, and then another worker, and I just started crying because I honestly, like, they're so nice to me. They're always like, Beth, you're a rock star. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do great. And I've been signed on to do their social media for them, so
Oh,
like
that's cool.
doing that, and they're like, you're awesome. And I mean, I hear that, but I don't really believe it, And then I just started crying. I was like, thank you for being so nice to me. And I was like, these are not pregnant tears. These are for sure, like, just, oh my gosh, overwhelming.
They're
Thank
not
you.
the hormones. This is
No, this
with
is true, genuine, like, just feeling unworthy almost of just people being so freaking nice and, believing in you. Like, it's nice to have.
absolutely,
So, thank
absolutely.
you, Katie.
The journey begins with the first step.
Oh, yeah.
Tracy says kind affirmation goes a long way. Absolutely. Um, Janine, hi, sweetheart. We're just getting ready to wrap it up, and I'm sorry we missed you, babe. I'd be in the corner being silent. Sean, you would not. We got. I'll work with Beth behind the scenes a little bit, and we'll be shooting out an email, and we'll get something set up. It'd be fun just to sit so and chat.
Oh, I love
Tracy goes, we'd all be talking over each other.
it.
We probably would, but it's all good. What does it do? It goes green or something like that when someone's talking. It's all good. Joe can handle it on our end. We'll get us all on there.
Usually all get together. I'll go downstairs and watch it on TV.
He wouldn't be able to stand it. It's funny. It would be a hoot.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, he's going, it would be fun. We need to plan it. Tracy, I'll send you an email and see what your availability is. We got to get you on. We'll bring you over here to the fun side. She does all hers pre-records. And then she'll hop on with Becca sometimes. That'd be fun to just throw her in here with us. Not throwing you to the wolves or anything. All right, guys. I'm going to let her go. She's got babies to put to bed, a belly to fill, and a husband to catch up on her day. Beth, baby girl, we're also very proud of you. We wouldn't. I could cry every time I see the joy in your face and the love and the passion for your business. This isn't just a side gig. This is your life. This is your livelihood. The same as it is for Courtney, the same as it is for Joe and I. And together, teamwork makes the dream work, And together we sew, together we grow. And every day is an adventure. And I know that we can all do great things working together. One of you need to design a quilt with the Australian flag. Can't find one anywhere. Beth is going to say in 2 seconds, I'm on it.
Yeah, someone in Discord, I believe it was Janet and Sean, were asking for that today, and I said I'm going to be out today, but in the next couple of days I'll jump into EQ8 and make up something. Those little stars in the flag are going to be the harder parts because they're tiny little stars, but maybe we can blow it up and have it be like a wall hanging.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah, that way they can hang it up and be like, bam, there's my flag.
I like the way you think. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up so she can get off here. I wanted to do my July shout outs. Joe started this a bit back, and we've got another week to go. So his July shout outs from Joe because we're trying to push channels, is Beth of Goody Goods, Sylvia of You&MeFPP, and Courtney of Pieces Loving Quilting, and Sean the guy who sews. I'm also going to throw in there Dog Mom who knits, because we're going to be plucking her brains moving forward. At some time, the goal is hopefully sooner rather than later, because we all went out in a hustle and bought everything, so now we just need to steal her for a bit.
I think you bought the wrong thing. You bought daggers instead of needles.
He still says they're swords, but they're only 6-inch. They won't impale very hard.
Don't mess with her.
Don't like swords.
And our August lineup, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the heads up, and Jill put it in. August the 1st, I have Sassy Stephanie of Memoirs of Longarm Quilter. Saturday the 6th is Open Gates with Monique Jacobs. The 8th is Tucker Nace. The 15th is Cindy Rang of the Fabric Patch. The 22nd is 100 Proof Quilter Brandy. And the 29th is T Quilts. So we got a hot lineup for August. It's going to be fun. And I love the gift of gab. And we teamed up on this, girl. We got it. What I can't get, you get. And we'll share the love. So you guys have a fabulous evening. Thank you for hopping on so we could do a little sit and chat with all of you. You have a great rest of your week. I'm not sure. I know I'm busy the next few days. I won't be back on, honestly, until Thursday at 12:30. And I'll be doing the border on the Travel and Time quilt. The Time Machine. I'm sorry, Time Machine. I've got all these other ones going. So I'll see you guys in the next video. I watched a sewing video and the creator had 10 names on the drop down. I went to every one of those channels. So good. Good work, Joe. He's learning how to put all these in for everybody. So he'll be doing that. And it's not always in the description box. Someone told us that there's a bar at the top of the channel that he can put in. So we're learning our way. So as we do, we'll be saying, okay, you got this. I didn't know about the community tab. So we're learning. You guys have a great night. God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you back on my side on Thursday. Beth, when you going again?
Oh gosh. Well, I have your blocks that I'm going to work on this week. So I think probably maybe tomorrow night. I think I'm going to call it a day today because I'm like, whoo. But tomorrow,
absolutely.
I'll probably
absolutely.
Like it.
Good night, and Tracy, thanks for hopping in, and everybody else. You guys are fabulous. Sean and Courtney, thanks for modding tonight. I greatly appreciate it. God bless y'all. Take care. We'll see you back in the next live. Bye.
Okay.
All right.
That was so fun.
That was. Thank you, baby girl. I know